Hello YouTube, this is Sabriel here at my new home at AltChar.com, and today we will be tackling a rather controversial issue at the moment, and that is the fact that some games actually run worse on the new PlayStation Pro than on the standard PS4. Now, as we all know, the PlayStation 4 Pro has been out for a month now, and it's gotten of course a lot of reviews, both good and bad as it always goes. However, there is one thing that really caught our eye, and those are reports that certain games have encountered some problems when played on the new beast from Sony. Before we get into it though, let's have a brief recap of what the new console can actually do. It allows for full 4K streaming and it plays some games in 4K native or upscaled resolution or at 1080p with a solid 60 FPS. It's pretty clear that the new console is quite powerful. However, in practice, things seem to be a little different, and here's why. Namely, there have been some reports on the web that certain games are actually running at a lower frame rate on the PlayStation 4 Pro than the standard console when plugged into a regular 1080p or Full HD television. The reason for this is that the console has to downsample 4K content for lower resolution TV sets. This is because the PlayStation 4 Pro does not support 1080p resolution directly. Instead, it renders everything at full 4K resolution, then downscales it to 1080p. This is known as super sampling, and it provides much sharper and detailed images at the cost of a high performance impact. This causes the dreaded frame rate drop on a 4K screen, which would be a fair trade-off in order to play the game in the breathtaking 4K resolution, were it not for the fact that it is impossible to disable super sampling on a regular Full HD screen. Suffering from frame rate drops at 1080p is absolutely unjustifiable for gamers who do not care about 4K. Some of the games who have been the primary victims of this are The Last of Us Remastered, which runs beautifully on the standard PS4, and it is quite a shame to see its performance go downhill on the enhanced version of the console. The people over at Digital Foundry claim that The Last of Us Remastered, which still features both 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second options, has encountered issues across both modes. The 60 FPS option now routinely will drop by about 5 or 6 frames per second. It's not just older titles that have been influenced by the poor performance of the PlayStation 4 Pro. Some of the newest games have fallen victim to it as well, such as the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition and Watch Dogs 2. Both of these games have been reported to run much better on older hardware. A feature that is currently not supported by any of the games on the PlayStation 4 Pro is reverting to standard PS4 graphics settings in order to maintain the frame rate performance. We strongly feel that this feature should definitely be on the priority list of the game developers, because this is PlayStation 4 Pro that we're talking about, and we should not be forced to make any compromise whatsoever. Although, to be fair, the PlayStation 4 Pro has only just come out, so it's highly likely that these problems will be resolved as the developers get a better feel for the stronger hardware and thus produce games which will be able to take full advantage of the new console's horsepower. However, there could be some good news regarding the poor performance of the PS4 Pro. Namely, the guys over at Eurogamer claim that games that already have issues could potentially be fixed with a patch or an option to allow for baseline PS4 settings, but there's currently no word from Sony as to whether this will happen. However, Sony did tell Digital Foundry that it is aware of the issue and currently investigating. In our opinion, we believe that at the cost of $400, having no 4K Blu-ray player is acceptable if we consider the fact that Sony compensates for this by allowing full 4K streaming with various apps. However, being called the most powerful console in the world should imply not having to deal with any sort of performance issues, especially when it comes to older titles. Here's hoping that Sony really irons these issues out in the future. What do you think? Do you think this is actually a big problem, or do the occasional frame rate drops not bother you? Let us know in the comment section below, and also don't forget to head on over to AltChar.com for all your gaming needs. It's a brand new website which will keep you posted on all the latest gaming news, so it's definitely worth checking out. And as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content coming your way in the future. Until next time, goodbye.